G'day, I'm Regan. I own Coral Sea Property, and I was coming up with marketing ideas, and I realised I've got to be able to prove or demonstrate to landlords that the way that we do maintenance requests is superior and results in better outcomes than what their current agent is doing. And a lot of agents that are trying to get new clients to come on are just going to tell you the world, and they do all these amazing things, and they sign you up, and then the service level really starts to drop off. I thought the simplest way to show you how we do maintenance is to quite literally show you our training document or our cheat sheet that the team use when processing a maintenance request. So that's what I have up on my screen here. This is our maintenance cheat sheet, and I'm just going to go through it with you. So the purpose of maintenance, so the reason we've got this cheat sheet is maintenance is the number one frustration point for landlords, and if we don't act perfectly as property managers, oftentimes the blame will fall on us. When you've got a maintenance request, you're already going to be frustrated that something's going on at the property, and so when you compile with that with your agent not acting proactively and in your best interest, all of a sudden it's a problem with the agency. It's a very easy pain point for property owners. So this is why our maintenance is important. Well understood is step number one. Do we fully understand the issue? That's the very first thing that we do is if we've just been reported, say for example, the solar system is playing up, well that could be a million different things. A good example of understanding the issue is the solar system with the name of it is showing an E4 error on the display unit and isn't producing power. So the main thing we do here is capture exactly what the tenant has reported, confirm the issue so we know exactly what it is, and check if it's a repeat problem at the property. The next step is researching the issue. Have you looked into the problem? So a bad example would be the solar system isn't working and needs an electrician. That doesn't tell us anything. That's not well researched. Well researched problem is the Phoenix 7000 solar system E4 error usually means low voltage. The tenant already tried restarting the unit and an electrician is likely required. My team will Google the issue, we'll look at it on ChatGPT, we'll see if there's previous history of the problem at the property, or we'll call or message our tradespeople for advice before contacting the owner. The next one is troubleshooting. Try simple steps with the tenants. So research possible solutions to the problem after they've tried restarting the system, for example. Provide the manual or basic instructions if it's an appropriate response to the job. Obviously, if you've got a tenant reporting that there's a PowerPoint that's crackling and sparking, you're not going to ask them to troubleshoot it. You're instead going to take the step of how can we make that safe. Tell them to go out and turn off the electrical circuit. Speak to Ergon straight away. So within the context of it, but a lot of issues can be troubleshooted that will save yourself, the landlord, the call-out fee. Solution and recommendation. Always provide the next steps. So we should never be going to a landlord with a problem. We should always recommend a clear course of action, and this is what it's going to cost. We try to avoid saying we need to go send this tradesperson out there, but we need to send this tradesperson out there with a budget of $400 so they can do X, Y, and Z. And then a deadline. We'll always include a deadline. So if we don't hear you by this point, we will proceed with this recommendation, or we will follow up with this email. And then we always update the tenant as well. Finally, we've got the email formatting. So introduce yourself, who is it, explain the issue, summarize the research done, provide the recommendation, include a deadline or follow-up, close professionally. So this is what that looks like. Firstly, we've got a bad example. So, hi, I hope you're having a great day. Just following up, the tenant at property address has reported an issue with the solar power system and is requesting a checkup. Let us know if you'd like to proceed arranging this work. Warm regards. Obviously, lots of problems with that, does not follow this structure. The way that we would go about this email is, firstly, summarise the issue. So, maintenance request, faulty solar system at this property. Hi, first name and first name. Who is it? My name's Regan. I'm writing on behalf of Tanika, the property manager, regarding a maintenance request at your property. The reported issue. The tenant has reported the solar system, a Phoenix 7000, is showing an E4 error, which usually indicates a low voltage fault. Actions taken. I've asked the tenants to reset the system, but the error remained. I researched the error code and it commonly relates to voltage issues. I spoke with an electrician who advised that a site inspection was required to confirm the cause. We recommend engaging an electrician to attend, investigate and attempt to repair on site. The expected cost is up to $250. If the repair requires additional work exceeding this amount, the electrician will provide a formal quote after the initial attendance. You'll only be charged for their time on site. That provides a clear recommendation and solution what the next steps are going to be. We've got the deadline, so to ensure the system remains functional for the tenants and meets obligations, we recommend proceeding promptly. If we don't hear from you by Friday, we'll organise the electrician's attendance. So that provides the deadline. It gives the landlord an opportunity to get back to us with additional questions. But a lot of our clients, they trust us, they see that we do our job well, and they know that if they're away on holidays and they miss an email, we'll still take care of things in their best interest. It also means that the client doesn't then miss this email for whatever reason, and then find out in 3 months' time that their tenants are now furious because they've been paying for additional power. The tenants are expecting to be compensated for their power bills now because no one ever followed it up. It provides a deadline and makes it clear what the next steps are going to be. And then finally, this is more like for the staff members itself, the email ends in a professional way. Thanks again for letting us manage your property. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Kind regards, Regan. Obviously, this email would be coming from me. So that's it. That's an example of how we handle maintenance requests. I know it's not your, full studio lighting, prim and proper marketing video example, but I thought this would just give a genuine example of one of the ways that we do things differently at Coral Sea Property to maximise our landlords' returns and to make sure that they have a really positive, stress-free experience as a client.